Hello, good evening, and welcome back. It's another Monday night, and here we are. We're coming to the end of November. It's almost the end of the year. My God. Thanks for joining me this evening. My name is Jackie Baker. This is your live weekly dose of real estate reality. I appreciate you all being here. We got a lot to unpack tonight. Yeah, you saw the thumbnail, the title, talking about that thing that happened a couple weeks ago, the election. Yeah. So here's the thing, and putting this out there right now. I want to keep the chat civil. I don't want to have any name calling. I don't want to have any heated political discussions going on in the chat. If things get out of hand, I have a special friend that's going to be in that chat. It's going to boot you. We're going to kick you out. Okay. So keep it civil, be nice. Let's all please be kind to each other. It's been really stressful, for the past year. And we just want to have just a civil discussion. So I'm so happy to bring on this evening to have this happy civil discussion. You know her very well. My good friend, Ms. Jen Sylvester. Hi.
What's happening, Jackie?
What's going on? How are you?
I'm ducky.
I can tell.
I'm just, everything's peaches and cream.
Right.
Everything's just fantastic and normal and boring and
life is awesome. Life is awesome. So, yeah. Oh, we got Clark in here. Hey, Clark.
Clark is in the house.
Hello, is in my friend. And then we got Living Our Lives. Hello, my friends. Thanks for coming back. Hey, LePont. Hello, Kay.
Hello,
all right.
hello.
So, Jen, we talked about this on your live stream last week. And of course, I got to rip you off.
Hey,
do the same, because
two brains.
Great minds, right? So I want to dive into this. And we did on your live stream, we're going to keep this civil. I want to just put this out there. Jen and I are talking about this from the perspective of real estate agents. We are boots on the ground. We're in this housing market. We've been selling houses for Jen's been in this business for 30 years. I've been in it for about 10 years. We're going to share our opinions based on our industry and our experience. Okay. We're not going to get any political discussions or anything like that. So
no political commentary or opinions or beliefs or nothing. It's all
nothing of the
housing market.
Yes. So yes, all about the housing market and how, so the article is realtor.com. It talks about what they think is going to happen under a Trump presidency to the housing market. So let's dive right into it. Let me pull that baby up. Where'd it go? Here it is. Okay. Jen,
hello.
All I have to say is I can't.
Gee, Jackie, where did you get that mug?
I got that on Amazon because, it spoke to me because this is all I say every day. I just can't. So anyway.
Link in the description.
I'm not selling it yet. But anyway. So, oh my God, I'm sorry, guys. All right.
We're in rare form, guys. This is full disclosure time. It's been a busy week, busy weekend. We're in rare form tonight.
We're in rare form. Okay. So what does Trump's presidency mean for the housing market? So I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm going to jump right down to each. They go through every policy that Trump addressed while he was running for office. So we're going to talk about that. So the first thing is here, mass deportation of immigrants. Now, also full disclosure, and I have to say, Jen, when I was on your stream, I kind of felt like an idiot because when we were talking about immigration, I'm not an expert. I know nothing about immigration laws, policies, whatever. What I do know is that, yes, immigrants that come in this country, they can get a mortgage. They can buy a house. I knew that. Mm-hmm. But as far as other stuff, the legal process, what you need to do, no.
Visas, green cards.
I don't know any of that. Yeah. And I know I got schooled on your live stream for that, but that's okay. So look, I'll just admit when I'm wrong.
Putting it out there. We're not experts in the field of immigration. Correct.
No, housing. We can talk about housing. Okay. So Trump and his running mate, J.D. Vance, have repeatedly claimed that illegal immigration is responsible for America's housing affordability crisis by putting immigrants in competition with citizens for scarce housing units. Trump has promised to carry out the largest deportation operation in American history and argues that this will ease housing prices by reducing demand. In reality, the evidence that immigration is a major factor in housing costs is mixed. While there is reason to believe that higher immigration levels can drive up local rents in the city, the recent post-pandemic surge in home prices began before illegal immigration levels jumped. Realtor.com senior economist Ralph McLaughlin says that kind of massive immigration crackdown that Trump proposes would have large and negative consequences on the U.S. housing market in both the short and long run. In the short run, reducing immigration could severely hurt the labor supply needed for new home building, since up to a third of residential construction employment consists of foreign-born workers. McLaughlin adds that in the long term, extreme immigration restrictions could have spillover effects to the broader economy. Lending Tree senior economist Jacob Channel agrees, writing that mass deportations would not solve the fundamental issues with the housing market. So I'm going to stop right there. So I said this on your stream, Jen. I agree. That's not going to solve the housing problem. That's not the housing problem goes all the way back. The housing shortage goes back to 2008. This has been going on for a very long time.
Yep.
And the biggest population that's in the market now for a home are millennials, right?
Yep.
Going into the pandemic. So end of 2019 and then going into 2020, we saw it in the news. I saw it was big news here in New Jersey. We were gearing up for probably the strongest housing market we'd ever seen, where they were anticipating record sales because of the millennials.
Yep.
So that's still continuing to this day, based on what I'm seeing and what I'm watching here in the market here in New Jersey. So I do not agree with that the deporting immigrants is going to solve it. It's not. Maybe it might bring the rents down a little bit, but not the house. It's not going to affect the housing inventory.
No. And to be clear, we're talking illegal immigrants, because that
Correct.
was another thing that we got caught up on. If we misstate and not say illegal, the references that we're talking about illegal immigrants. We're not talking about deporting immigrants. Right. That being said, I don't see the correlation between improving the housing market and deporting illegal immigrants. I think the exact opposite has the potential to happen. I think that maybe the rental market will improve because there'll be rentals will open up, right? We'll have fewer rentals taken up, so there'll be more rentals available. So that could, put downward pressure on the rental prices. But in terms of the available housing, I mean, ultimately, the available housing is due to lack of supply. And I don't believe that illegal immigrants are buying up houses left and right that would cause them to open up new inventory, number one. Right. Number two, in terms of how the, illegal immigrants that are being employed by a lot of builders, right? Low cost wages, which in turn, if they have to hire legal immigrants, workers, whatnot, presumably the cost of building that home is not going to go up, which means not only will it not help, but it could hurt the housing market. It could hurt the housing market by increasing the cost potentially, depending on the workforce. It could, because the National Home Builder Association said it themselves. A large chunk of illegal immigrants work in the trades. And now you're pulling, not to say that that's justification for not deporting them. I'm not certainly not saying that at all, but there is going to be something felt there. There's going to be a hole that's going to be left. And I don't know how that works, but it's definitely not going to put us in the positive. I do not see it being see us being put in a positive direction with that.
Yeah, no, I don't. I totally agree with you. It's but even with the workers, like I totally get what you're saying, and I share this with you on your live stream. My father was a contractor. He did have a lot of illegals. Well, I would say illegal immigrants Some of them were here legally. His top guy that if my father hadn't passed away, I think I'm convinced my father would have sold the business to him because he was like the guy was such a hard worker. And my
Yep.
father was helping him to get, to get him here, become a legal citizen. And I mean, I do agree with that. Yeah, they do provide they have great talents, and they do,
They work
a
hard.
lot of them do work hard. They're very hard workers.
Yep.
But then there's also the argument, like, oh, it's cheap labor, but it's like then you get to a point like, well, then how fair is that to them? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
then you get that argument too. But like we also said on your stream too that I brought up the whole thing about we need to bring the trades back to the schools too. We need to make that more of a common thing for kids to pursue other than college,
Yep.
I am. So that's
Oh, there's definitely a deficit. There's a huge, I mean, that goes way past the, illegal immigrant issue or, illegal immigrants working, in the trades. There's been a deficit of new trades people coming into the industry for decades. It's been
right.
a growing problem with, just societal norms of kids being pushed to college, and if you don't go to college, then you're less than. It's like, oh, you're going to be a plumber, oh, you're going to be, in construction. Construction is perceived as a second option, when in reality, a lot of these kids that are going off to college and they're coming home and they've got huge amounts of debt, and they're getting a job that's getting paid a fraction of the cost that the buddy they went to school with that trained and went right into, did an apprenticeship and the whole 9 years. They're making tons of money, tons of money, but there's a big hole in it needs to be filled in terms of, making it okay. And encouraging kids to go into the trades and not being pressured into going to college. And, that in itself will bring it'll bring the cost of the consumer down. But, it's something that it's a shift in our society that needs to be adjusted.
I agree.
A lot of action going on in the comments.
We do got a lot. Hello, April. Thanks for being here. I'm thinking home prices are going to go up, especially in certain areas. I don't disagree with you.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a bit.
We're going to talk about that. Yep. And she's in Southern California. Yep. I think it's going to go up in a lot of places, honestly. Living Our Lives says, I'm seeing that the interest rates will have the ceilings removed and more Wall Street buyers will capture the market, which will leave less for regular house hunters.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that too.
Yep. We're getting there.
We got you covered.
Skip ahead. Don't skip ahead, class. Don't skip ahead.
Skip ahead. Oh, Jen, I love when you come on. I really do. Oh my God. Oh wait.
Really? Oh God.
On to the next one. Here we go.
You got a couple other comments. You want to get to those first before you start going on with the article here? You got some Clark's got some comments. Hit the immigrant comments in the chat there.
Okay.
Yeah. Do it.
All right. Hey, whose show is this? Come on.
I know.
All right.
All right. We told you guys this is we're both in rare form.
Rare form.
We're both a little spicy tonight. We're a little spicy.
Just a little. Okay.
A little feisty.
Living Our Lives says the housing crisis actually started in the 80s, bounced up a little and down, but honestly never recovered from that period.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. Yeah.
Yep.
Still the right thing to do, deport illegals. Oh.
Yep.
So, all right, Clark. Some of these immigrants help build their houses, and some of them live with their families already. Excellent point, Clark. Excellent point. All right, Audrey. Hi, Audrey. Thanks for being here. Housing to me means a place to live, own, or rent, and illegals are taking up housing rented by the government, most likely. Well, it's not wrong there, because I know in New York City they were allowing them to stay for free in a couple of hotels in Manhattan. So, I mean, I understand.
Were those mostly like refugees, though? The ones that were doing that?
I don't know.
As opposed to illegals? I mean, those would be immigrants, period, not illegals. Illegals wouldn't be put up by the government. I don't know.
Well, they were. That I do know. I know they were in New York City. It's a big problem. But all right. Let me see. Dallas says here, immigrants are unable to buy homes via mortgage without legal immigration documents. So, right, Jen, no correlation.
Yep.
All right. Let's go on to the second part.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thanks for listening, Jen. Anyway. All right. The next thing is to cut regulations and open up federal land for building. Trump has called for slashing regulations and permit requirements that home builders say add unnecessary cost to new homes. We will eliminate regulations that drive up housing costs with the goal of cutting the cost of a new home in half. We think we can do that. The regulations alone cost 30%. The regulation costs 30% of a new home, he claimed in a September speech. However, those figures appear to be dramatically overblown. The National Association of Home Builders, longstanding industry critic of regulations, estimates that site work and related permit fees account for 7.4% of the average new home cost, with overhead and general expenses accounting for an additional 5.1%. Many economists agree that streamlining and eliminated regulations would help boost home construction and reduce cost, though it's difficult to imagine achieving the extent of price relief that Trump envisions. Fewer regulations and more available space on which to build may reduce home building costs and help increase the housing supply. That said, limiting regulations won't be enough to cut prices in half, and ending some isn't a cure-all for the problem plaguing the nation's housing market. Throughout the campaign, voters consistently pointed to the lack of housing availability and affordability as a key issue in their voting decisions. Now is the time to take action to address the nation's housing shortage and let builders build. So, Jen, what I want to say about this one, we talk, and maybe I'm repeating myself from your stream, but the key thing is we need to build more affordable homes. I was just watching a podcast just before we came on, and they were talking about the increase of new homes that were built that were huge. I mean, remember the whole surge of like the McMansions?
Yep.
You know, we have all these $1 million huge homes, and no, they're not building those anymore. You go back to like the 1970s to 1980s, 1,400 square foot homes was like the norm. Now it's not.
Right.
There needs to be incentives to builders to build those starter homes.
Yep.
Am I right?
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
100%. So, I think that though what he's talking about with the federal land, though, is there's these tracts of lands, but there's federally owned tracts of land across the country, but they're in the middle of nowhere. They're not easy access to jobs. They're not easy access to, populated areas, cities, and those are the properties that are going to be more expensive when you have properties that are closer to public transportation,
right?
Closer to highways and, industry. Those are the properties that are going to be more expensive to get into. And, the reality of it is it's, you're asking some of these first-time home buyers drive 2 hours to a job. I mean, maybe they'll do it. I don't think so. I don't see that to be the case.
But I still think there's a lot that are working remote still. That's another option.
100%.
So that could be it too. I mean, look,
it's not because it's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's not going to work. I think that anything is better than nothing right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I don't. I just don't. I wish it were as easy as just that would boom. That's the easy thing, and then cut the prices by 50%. Nothing's going to cut the prices by 50%.
No, unless you get more inventory. That's the thing. You have to have more inventory you got to increase the supply to bring the prices down. That's just how it is. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know either. If I mean, I do agree we have to cut back the regulations, any available land. Like the builders need to. Good Lord, my phone's ringing. Sorry.
Somebody heard you from from President-elect there.
Yes,
correct you or something.
Yeah, they're trying to shut me up.
No, I think that we're short like 4 million homes.
Yep.
Right.
Yes, we are.
I don't see how we get 4 million homes out of government-owned land.
Yep.
I don't see that. I think that, rolling back regulations, yes, but regulations is only going to account for it's only going to be for a small percentage, of the total cost to the builders. And, I think it'll help, but it's not an easy button.
No, definitely. Clark says, yep, a lot of them are tradesmen, construction, electrical, carpentry, and more. Oh, Tanya. Hey, Tanya. She's saying hi to you too, Jen. Look at that.
Hey,
I love
Tanya.
Tanya. I love when you're here, Tanya. Where have you been? I haven't seen you in a while. Oh my gosh. All right, Kira. Hi, Kira. Thanks for being here. If they were truly hardworking, their countries would be better. Yep. Oh, good point. Melvin. Hey, Melvin, thanks for being here. This is what America gets for taking the trades out of schools. Well, we need to bring them back. We definitely need to have, it can't be, I feel like you were saying before, college is the end all be all. It's the only direction to go.
Yeah. And I think I don't think it's that difficult of a thing. It's not about putting it, opening up, and you've got to inject millions of dollars into schools to offer extra things to the kids. I don't think it's necessary. I think you just change the narrative.
Yes.
You get the education system to change the narrative.
Yes.
Okay, Sally, what would you like to do after you graduate? Would you like to go to a 4-year college, or do you want to go into the trades? Here's what your estimated income will be if you go in college. This is what your estimated income will be if you want to go to trades. You want to go in the trades? Great. We have these tradespeople lined up that are accepting apprenticeships.
Yep.
Make it easy. Make it an easy entry for these kids.
Them.
Instead of them like fending to themselves, it's like, well, my parents want me to go to college, so I guess I'll go do that, because the entry, the path to the trades is scary or unknown. 18-year-old kid, 17-year-old kid, they don't know what they're doing. Trust me. Trust me.
That's the answer, right? That's what you just. That's the problem. Unknown. It's unknown. A lot of these kids don't know what to do.
The narrative.
They're going to change, right? But the schools do need to be able to offer that and have some knowledge on it. Like I said this to you before. When my son, he's going to be 21 next month. When he was in his junior year of high school, he was like, I'm not going to college. I'm like, all right, have at it. That's fine. Let's look at a trade. And when he went to his guidance counselor, they were clueless. They didn't know where to send him. They didn't know what to, he did the research and went back to them and said, well, these are some possible trade schools. They're like, oh, okay, thanks. And they had no clue. No clue. He had to do all the homework on that. And they just don't promote it. They don't want to promote it. And that just drives me.
Certain places do, though. I will tell you. So where I'm at in Plymouth, right? Massachusetts, our town, actually, we're 65,000 residents in the town. We have 2 high schools, right? It's 100 square miles. We have 2 high schools.
Right.
Those 2 high schools are not the same offering on both schools. One is more, it's a typical high school, but it offers trades. So you've got, plumbing, you've got HVAC, you've got hairdresser, you got, culinary in that school. The other school has things like biomed, nursing, engineering, that type of thing. So, and yes, they are based on where you live in the town. However, the town allows the kids to go to either school. So even if you're in a district, to go to the school that's in the, biomed, more college dedicated school, if you want to study culinary, great. Yeah, the buses they'll get you there, and vice versa. So I think it's cool because it does open up a lot of opportunities for the kids here.
That's awesome that you offer that. So here in Jersey, where I'm in Bergen County, we have, it's called Bergen Tech, but you have to apply for it. You have to go through an interview process. It's hard to get into.
That's the thing, is it's all public schooling here, and which is pretty. I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
the kids they can go into culinary school and it doesn't cost them anything.
That's amazing.
And these kids, some of these kids are getting their nursing, they're preparing for nursing school, And these kids are they're doing an internship at the local nursing home while they're going to high school. Like it's pretty cool. But you're right. That's not the norm. That is not the norm.
No. Living Our Life says, my 9-year-old grandson says he wants to go to trade school instead of college. I fully agree with him. College means nothing these days. You're so right. Listen, college it's good for if you have a definite path where, if you go to nursing, law, pre-med.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it means nothing. I think that if you know if you know your path,
doing accounting, finance, engineering, in that case, you do need it. But it's just, and it's getting so damn expensive too.
I think to go to college without just for the sake of going to college, I think that's not the greatest path.
That's not not.
But a lot nowadays the employers, I mean, they're if you don't have a college degree in whatever field that you're working in, they're not even going to talk to you. So that's frustrating.
Yep. No, it is. Clark said he had trades in my school when he was growing up. Yep. Yeah, not here. Not in my local high school.
Oh, it's Jersey.
I know. It's
Jersey.
So, oh my God. Cooking to fill out the form and you say, never heard back. I don't know if I got it. Well, I'm sorry. If you could resubmit it again. I've been getting referrals all week. I apologize. I don't know if you filled it out today.
Jackie's good about getting back to people.
I am good. So yeah, reach out to me after this, please. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, Melvin says new homes being thrown together quickly are falling apart. That's a good segue for tomorrow's video, by the way. Thanks, Melvin.
So you know what? Let's play devil's advocate, okay? Yeah. Based on that comment. So pulling back regulations, right? Red tape to allow for builders to build more is the right idea, but this country, in certain parts of this country, they're already struggling with that nonsense, with building crap. And now those builders are allowed to build even more with less restrictions. Are we setting ourselves up for some serious bad times?
I think you're not wrong. You're not wrong there.
Nothing comes free. And I think that it depends on the county. If you have a county that's not heavily regulated and all of a sudden you lift some of these permitting and, and whatnot, federal law, says, okay, you can go, you don't have to do that. No. Well, just build. You're going to have another, God forbid, another Miami on your hands.
Well, listen, so tomorrow's video I'm putting out tomorrow, it's about D.R. Horton and about all the problems they've been having. Oh my God. There's a class action lawsuit against them right now. There's a lot of issues with D.R. Horton. So
my heart goes out to anyone who has purchased a home from them.
Some of these
they're
homes,
they're not here, but
no, they're not here either. Oh my God! Wait, watch my video tomorrow.
I think I'll watch it.
Please watch it.
Watch it.
Hi, Lester. I've been looking forward to the stream. Appreciate all your input. Okay, really, Jen? I can't. Really? Anyway, Lester, thanks for being here. Don't mind Jen. All right, Weisenheimer. Okay. Let's see. We got a lot of comments. I love when everybody starts chiming in.
It's like being at a party.
I know. Thanks for being here. You're everything butterflies. Thank you. If interest rates go down, maybe some of the people locked in a rate will finally put their homes for sale, increase the inventory, and hopefully affordability return. Such a great segue. Let's get into the next part of the article because we talk about this.
Love me a good segue.
I love segues. This is awesome. Okay. So here we go. Another thing that Trump said he was going to do, pressure Fed to lower interest rates. Finally, Trump has also claimed that he would somehow lower mortgage rates, although there's no clear mechanism for the president to do so. Reducing mortgage rates is a big factor. We're going to get them back down to, we think, 3%, maybe even lower than that, saving the average home buyer thousands of dollars per year. Mortgage rates have risen the past 4 consecutive weeks, hitting 6.72%. The president doesn't set mortgage rates. If elected, Trump probably won't be able to arbitrarily decide to lower them, even if he wanted to. So he is correct there. He has nothing to do with the mortgage rates. Trump has previously shared his belief that the Federal Reserve should take orders from the president instead of independently setting monetary policy as it currently does. But even the Fed does not directly control mortgage rates, right, Jen? People get confused about this all the time. They think the Fed is responsible. They're not. They follow the underlying bond market and move in response to investor expectations about the economy, inflation, and future fiscal and monetary policy. The Fed began cutting its benchmark rate in September, but mortgage rates have climbed steadily since then, due to mostly to investor fears that a Republican sweep of the White House and Congress could increase deficit spending. Yields on the 10-year Treasury jumped to 4.44% on Wednesday morning, up from 4.3% a day earlier, suggesting mortgage rates will continue to rise in the short term. Investors are taking Trump at his word and believe if he wins, it will lead to higher tariffs, immigrant deportations, and deficit finance tax cuts in a full employment economy, all of which means higher inflation and more government borrowing. The recent surge in mortgage rates is a clear indication that investors believe a Trump victory would mean for the economy and the nation's fiscal outlook. So here's the thing. You and I have said this. The president doesn't control the mortgage rates. The Fed doesn't control the mortgage rates, right? You saw that explanation. But here's the problem. Number one, it's not going back to 3%. Nope. It's just that is not, unless we have a catastrophic event that, whatever, the economy blows up, it's not going back to 3%. And I don't want it to go back to 3%. And here's why.
Do you know what would happen? Do you know what would happen if it went to 3%?
Yeah.
We would have inflation up the wazoo.
Yeah.
Everything would go crazy because everybody would start buying. And the more people buy, the more prices go up.
The prices are going to go back up.
We don't want that. No. Inflation would go crazy. We'd be back to $8 a dozen eggs.
Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want. No, listen. The interest rates with this comment, they said, it'll increase inventory. It can a little bit, yes, because if people are locked in, we got the golden handcuffs that we've been talking about for the past few years. Yes, that's an issue, and people don't want to give up that low interest rate. But I think coming down in the 5% range, I think that's enough for people to stomach and accept that and say, okay, I can give up my 3.5% or 4% to move on to something else. Yep. I think I've been saying this for years. It's got to be in the 5s. Got to be in the 5s to make anything happen. And if you're wishing for 3%, be careful what you wish for, because you think the prices are high now, it's going to get worse.
Well,
it's going to be nuts.
You bring up a great point, Jackie, because the thing is like what people don't take into consideration in the big picture is how much that rate is actually going to cost you. If the difference between 4% and 5%, cost you, you're saving yourself $100 a month, $200 a month, right? Great. Well, guess what? Because the rate went down, now there's a rush on homes. More buyers come out of the woodwork. Prices go up. Now the cost of that home just increased to $300 a month. So now a lower rate, but you're paying more for that same house. So what's the benefit?
Exactly.
There is a benefit.
Right. Yeah. Tanya says it's so expensive. Shake my head. Building affordable homes is a must. No one can afford these prices. I agree with you, Tanya. I totally agree with you.
Look at you. You know what the symbols mean. SMH.
Because
LOL. IMO.
All right, my friend. Oh my God.
No, it's tough. It's tough as tough. But you know what? It's like we were talking about when we were chatting earlier today. It's really hard right now. It's really hard. And when you're in the thick of it, when you're in the fog, you can't see before, you can't see behind you, you can't see in front of you. All you can see is the darkness, the difficulty, the challenge, all the things.
Yep.
The reality is we've been here before. We've been in tough situations before. We just don't remember them. Some of them, the Great Depression, we weren't alive for that, but the country got through it.
Yep.
The Great Recession, the financial crash, 06, where people lost their shirts. Things were crazy. But 30%, 35%, 40% plummet in some areas. People were devastated, right? Those people that bought those homes and then couldn't afford, and there was short sales and foreclosures and bankruptcies, survived. We got through it. So it's hard to imagine the answer right now, but that's okay. We will get through it. Don't know what that answer is, but but it doesn't mean that there isn't one. Eventually this thing is going to work itself out. The kids, I love my children. I have a 23-year-old college grad who just moved home from graduating in May.
Yep.
I love my children. My children are not living with me forever.
Same.
No. And I know that they won't, because at some point in time, there's going to be a breaking point, whether they get a career advancement, get married, whatever. There's going to be a breaking point where they say, you know what, this is hard. We're going to figure it out. And we'll just maybe move outside the area that we really want to be in. We're going to travel a little bit further out, whatever. It'll happen. It's just not happening as fast as we want it to happen. Yeah. And I think that's the big thing that everyone is struggling. A lot of people struggling with. It's like, oh my God, this has been dragging on forever. And it has, but
I know
it's just, it will get better. It's just going to take time.
Yes.
It's just going to take time.
I know people don't want to hear that, but you got to have faith. It will work out. Just
sometimes you got to hear the things you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
Exactly.
Right. And maybe you know what? I think it is what people want to hear. I think they want to hear that it's not going to be like this god awful nightmare forever. I mean, what they want, I think what everybody wants, I mean, wouldn't it be great to have an easy button? Be like, everything's fine. Guess what, Jackie? Prices just dropped by 40%. Oh, and the interest rates are down at 3%. Oh, and everybody's getting a raise. It's Oprah. Everybody's getting a raise. And you get a house, and you get a house, and you get a house. Okay. Right? Then you wake up and you have to pay the bills.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like, that was a nice dream. But life is tough.
I know. It is.
And it's just like, you know what? When we were going through COVID, that was pretty awful. Yep. Dying all over the place, and it was sick and everything else. And we're like, how are we going to get through this?
Yep. And we did. Are
we going to have to wear masks forever now? Like, what the heck?
Yep. We're here. We got through it. Here we are. We are.
I mean, it's going to be tough. And who knows what's going to happen for the next, as all these policy changes and the tariffs or whatever's going to happen. And things could get more expensive before it gets better. And you just, you know what? Maybe you go a year without vacations. 2 years without vacations. It is what it is. You just I think you just get, not to be all soapbox and everything else. It's just, I think it's just like, we have to just be grateful for what we have and not focus on what we don't. Because at least my kid has a roof over her head. You know what I mean?
Yep. Exactly. Because
there are a lot of people that don't have that.
That's true.
So, that's my TED Talk.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Jen. All right. Anna Max, personally, I don't think there's a shortage of housing. I rent, and there's lots of rentals. They just don't want to lower the rental rates. A lot of luxury junk multifamily. I wonder where you are. What area are you in?
Yes, that's not the norm.
Curious. Well, I think the rental market it's definitely slowed down here. So
not here.
Let me see. Let me see what else we got here. Oh, Roy. Hello, Roy. Most of the federal-owned land is in the West, often without water nearby. The majority of it couldn't be given away for free when the government was giving free land to encourage people to move. That's a good point. Thanks, Roy, for sharing that. Kate. Yeah.
Hey, Kate.
Woo! We're under contract. 2 weeks on the market. But a good offer inspection on Wednesday. Oh my God. Fingers crossed. Smooth inspection. No issues. Oh my God, Kate, I'm so happy for you. Oh my God. When are you closing? Tell me when you're closing. I'm so excited. That's awesome. I love that. Okay. We got a lot going on here. Oh, Polly Fox. Hey, thanks for being here. Look, 1 million AI robotics are going to replace construction jobs. Science fiction, no more. Elon Musk has 1 million ready to go. AI scares me. I'm just saying it does.
Don't buy a robot, Jackie. Don't buy a robot in your house.
I'm not going to lie. It does worry me. I know it'd be years and years down the road before this stuff really takes over, but it's,
we're going to be ladies by then.
We're going to be what? We're going to be biddies
by then.
Yeah, we'll be in a nursing home by then.
It won't matter because we won't know what's going on.
That's true. That's true. Kay says trades are promoted where I am too, Jen. Our community college is great and offers all these trade programs. They partner with local high schools. That's awesome.
That's fantastic.
I love hearing that. Hello, Mawa. I homeschool my kids. Then they went to charter technical school. Now 24 in tradesmen. One went to college but dropped and got a good paying job. Hands down, good decision. See, good for you. Love hearing that. Oh my goodness. Roy says, when I was in high school, only the kids went to Bergen Tech. Now kids want to go there. Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's very competitive, Roy. That's why you have to apply to get in there. It's like, come on. Oh my goodness. What is this? Living our lives. In some cases, it's worth it. I have a BS in cybersecurity with over 10 years experience. Got passed up for a cyber job by a non-IT applicant and only had SEC cert with no experience.
Wow.
It's interesting because I have a cousin who's been trying to get into cybersecurity, has a degree and everything, and he's having a heck of a time. I don't understand that. I mean, if you're getting the degree, I don't know. Yep. There's a lot of conversations going on here. Okay. Hello, Joe Baseball. Where I live in Morris County, there are acres and acres of undeveloped forest, some of which is on fire. It would be beneficial if government would incentivize builders to develop these lands. That would be a good idea. Yeah. By the way, Jen, Jersey has been on fire. We have all these wildfires going around.
Really?
In our state. Horrible.
Oh my goodness.
Horrible.
So dry. We have like daily warnings around here.
Yeah.
Just, be careful and all that. Okay. So I know my mom doesn't listen to my live stream. So I will tell you because my dad would kill me, but we in Plymouth and he was out with his ride-on lawnmower and he called me, says, you never believe my dad's like 77. So I just started a fire in my backyard. I'm like, what? He says he was riding his ride on, mulching the leaves, and he stopped for a little too long on one spot. And the leaves caught fire under the lawnmower, under the ride on.
Oh.
That's how dry it is. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I said, what'd you do? Oh, I went down there and pulled the leaves out. And I'm like, oh, Dad. What are you doing? And he's laughing about it. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
But it's kind of crazy. Yeah, it's bonkers everywhere.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's bad here. It's really bad. Like daily, like if yesterday we smelled smoke all day. They were like 10 miles from my house, this one fire that's going on right now. And then like we're on the border of New York. So you go up into New York a little bit. There's another massive fire going on up there. Last week, an 18-year-old firefighter was actually killed. A tree fell on him. Yeah, bad.
We haven't had any rain.
I know.
We've had no rain. And super windy. Super windy. So it's a recipe for disaster.
Yep. So Sean H. Hey, Sean, thanks for being here. The Fed cut the rates in 2020 to encourage spending during COVID, and the result was housing prices quickly skyrocketing. Yep. They do it again. Buy fast before it happens again. Yes. Tanya. Exactly. Thank you, Tanya. Yep. I love that.
I love that.
I love that one. Oh my gosh. Let me see here. Wow, we got a lot of comments. Thank you guys so much. Let's see. Sorry, Jen. I'm
No. I don't, nothing to be sorry about.
All right. Oh, here we go. Question. Living our lives. How do you all think the tariffs will affect the market along with Trump's favor of deregulation?
Well, let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
What do you think, Jackie?
You know what? The whole tariff thing, I'm still like, I'm not an economist. I'm not, it's not my strong point, but I understand what he's trying to do. He's trying to bring more business back to the United States. I understand that. And when I was reading more into it, from what I'm understanding, it's more of selective tariffs on certain products in certain countries. It's not, there's been this talk, this is broad tariff thing. And I'm reading opposite of that it's more selective that he's going after. I mean, look, there's a tariff on China that he imposed a tariff on China back in 2019, 100% tariff. Still there. It's still there. They never got rid of it.
It's set to expire next year.
So yeah. So I don't know, but I listen, like I said, I'm not an economist. I'm not 100% versed in that, but I mean, what do you think?
I think it depends on the extent of it. I am not an economist, but I will tell you that the Nobel Prize winning economist guy, his name just slipped out of my brain. He went on record saying that it's a bad idea for the economy. It's going to send us into a recession if it's too far-reaching for what he wants to do. I think that the danger is if those tariffs start being attached to building products, if we start seeing drywall, if we start seeing, anything that affects, building equipment, tools, anything related to the building industry, the housing industry, if there's an increase, all that's going to do is dissuade home builders, regardless of deregulation. It's great. You save $10,000 on regulations, but now you have to spend $30,000 more because the building materials are more expensive, and then that price gets tacked on. They're going to pass that price on to the consumer, and it's. I mean, we're the housing market down in Austin. It's getting back. It's getting busier, but how we've been seeing over the last 6-9 months, Jackie, the builders are like giving incentives to the buyers because because nobody's buying them. You know what I mean? It's so I think it has a potential to get worse. So I'm not. I don't know that that's. Time will tell.
Right.
Time will tell. There's no fire alarm when there's no fire.
Yep.
There's no fire yet, but
we'll see.
I don't know.
We'll see. I don't know either.
I think it's the thing that concerns me is too many things too quick to try to solve the problem faster.
Yep.
Is scary because you don't have enough time to recoil to correct. Yes, going slower is harder, and you have to wait and to be patient for things to take hold. But at least it gives you a chance to course correct if things start going sideways. But if you start going, we're going to do this, 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 and you start to implement too many things at the same time.
Yep.
That could send us in a world of hurt.
Yep. No, it could. Listen, I agree with you there. So let's hope things, we ease into the changes. Sean says, is new construction really that much worse than resale? Those resale homes were once new construction too. Not all of them are, Sean. They're not. I mean, there are some really good, there are some great builders out there. There are some, that don't have the best reputation. You have to do your homework. The fires in New Jersey affected home selling or buying for you. No, it has not yet. Not in my area, but let's hope it doesn't affect any people at all. Kay says, we installed the new built-in microwave this weekend, and I struggle to envision a robot being able to do that. Me too, Kay. I don't like that idea either. Let me see. Oh my gosh. Oh, here we go. Cackleberry Cottage. Welcome to my world here in Southern California. Fires everywhere this summer. Our insurance was canceled 2 years ago. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. Yep. Kira says New York, New Jersey, no rain for months. Same in Massachusetts too. We're all feeling this up here in the Northeast. It's bad.
Yep.
Really bad. So Clark says, I think the tariffs were attached to lumber, which wasn't good, especially during the pandemic when things were tight and slower to get into the country. Yep. Okay. Oh, Mawa has a question. Do you think home insurance will change the coverage in New Jersey after wildfires? Also, if we don't have rain soon, wells may dry up. They're already, I was just watching, oh my God, I was watching a TikTok. It was from NewJersey.com. And now I can't remember the name of it. Was it Manasquan? It was somewhere, there's a reservoir. It's like 50% filled with water. I mean, it's like 2 months ago, the thing was like at capacity. Now it's like 50% dried up. It's bad. Do I think the home insurance? I'm sure we're all going to get impacted by that with these fires. So, and it's very frustrating. Yeah. So Jen, anything else you want to add?
No. No. I'm looking for that Nobel Prize winner.
Here we go.
Joseph Stiglitz. That's who his name was. Joseph Stiglitz won the Nobel Prize for his market economics research. That's who I was referring to.
Okay. Yeah, Living Our Lives has 16 Nobel Prize winning economists said the tariffs will destroy the economy, which will also destroy the market. Yep. Well, look, let's hope he's not going to go like gangbusters and go crazy with this stuff. I mean, we got to, it's, oh my God.
He's not even in office.
He's not, but listen,
this is all projection at this point. This is all projection. And to put everything in perspective, right, Jackie? Like, it's like talk is cheap and he wants to do this, and this, but he's not even there yet.
He's not there yet.
He's not even there yet. So like,
not there yet. So let's, let everybody just let's just take a breath. We'll see. We'll see what. Yes, this is. Thank you, Jen.
Well, what have we been talking about over the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks? I've been talking to my kids a lot about it.
Yep.
Worry is wasted energy.
Yes, it is.
You cannot control what you can't control. Worrying about things that you can't control is a waste of time. Focus on what you can. Focus all your energy on the things that you can impact.
Yes.
And let everything just fall where it's going to fall.
Live our lives. That's all. So Roy says, Roy has some advice. Don't buy new construction. Buy the house 3 years old. Then the guy before you has been through the warranty work. That's a good point, Roy.
Yep.
Good point. Living Our Lives says we're still buying in 2026 regardless, though. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I think that actually, that actually, hits the nail on the head, because the reality of it is, Jackie, is even when the proverbial hit the fan in 06 and the market crashed, people were still buying houses.
Yes, they were. Yes,
I haven't stopped working since 1996. Yes, there's ebbs and flows. Stopped working because there's always a need.
Yeah.
People will still die. People will still get married, still have babies, still retire, still outgrow the house, still relocate, still get jobs transfers. It just happens. And so it may slow, but it will never stop, regardless of the interest rates, regardless of the prices. How it happens, right, might change, but it's never going to stop. Right. Because there's always a need. There's always going to be a need. So, and the reality of it is all the interest rate projections of what's going to be the tipping point for the housing market. You know what? I think, Jackie, what the tipping point is? The tipping point is what happens in your own personal economy. Because everyone who wants to move at one point in time, if you have a house and you have one too many kids and you're a little cramped and you're like, I don't want to give up my rate. One day you're going to wake up and say, I don't care. I'm done with this cramped space. I will pay. I'll get whatever. Okay, afford it. Let's just go. We'll go maybe move out to an area. Maybe we're going to change where we move to because we can't afford to go where we want to go right now.
Yeah.
But we're going to go because I'm done with this space or whatever. Or I'm getting a little too old for this house with stairs. I can't do these stairs anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That you're going to wait for the rates to go down. You're just going to do it.
Yep.
So
That's right.
it's always people very rarely, unless you're an investor, people don't move because of the market.
Yep.
Right? Like, it's not like, have you and your husband ever been like, oh, you know what? The rates just dropped 0.25%. Do you want to move?
Yeah. Doesn't work that way. No, you're right.
Work that way.
You're so right.
That way. You're flipping through a brochure, you're on Zillow, you're like, what are you doing Friday night? You know what? I think we should move.
Yeah. Let's go buy another house. Yeah.
Let's just go buy another house.
So
it's all like, it's all a personal economy decision. It has nothing to do. It's not impacted heavily. By the market.
And that's why we say, when people come on here and they ask, should I buy a house now? No, it's all about your personal situation. And if you're financially ready, it's your time. You're done where you're living. You're ready. That's when you move. So, yeah. What? Go ahead. Sorry, Jen.
The answer to that question, no.
What?
I don't see a lot of foreclosures. No. And the reason being is because of the rate of equity in this country.
Yes.
The amount of equity in this country is crazy in the billions. So the reality of it is depending on, yes, could they be over leveraged? Absolutely. However, because there's been such a run up in prices, the chances of someone being underwater to be able to trigger a foreclosure, it's not like it was in 2006 where it went significantly, and there was the rate of drop is the thing that triggered all the foreclosures. It went over, literally it was overnight, and 30% of the market just completely disappeared. So, and people lost there was a lot of hardship. People couldn't make those high mortgage payments, adjustable rate mortgages. The thing is we have to remember that when the market dropped, and I'm going to backpedal here for a second. When the great financial crisis happened in 06, 07, it wasn't the prices that caused it. It was the mortgage market that caused it. The mortgage market lending to people that couldn't afford the loans in the first place. They were giving people money that should never have been given money. Period. And it was when they couldn't afford it. And now they're like, oh, well, we'll just sell it. Oh, wait, the prices dropped 30%. That's when they had to foreclose. Right. So it wasn't the prices, it was the mortgage market that triggered it. We're not there.
No,
there's no trigger for the foreclosure market right now. It absolutely is not. So, could there be pockets? Yeah, but there's not going to be widespread. There's always going to be some kind of foreclosure. I have a twice removed family member on my ex-husband's side that's allowed their house to go into foreclosure. They actually could have sold it, but they didn't know any better and they let it go to foreclosure. Could that happen? Yeah. Is that common? No.
Right. No. Right. Yep. No, you're right. So no, there's not gonna be foreclosures. Totally agree with that. Definitely not. So Tony C says New Jersey has some of the biggest, cleanest quivers in the world. Wells drying up shouldn't be an issue for quite a while. Check subsurface maps in your area. Generally, only city municipal first. Thank you for that information. Ooh. Cooking with mad scientists. I'm buying next spring in Florida, and it's terrifying. Don't be terrified. Look, if you're ready to go, you're ready to make the purchase. It'll all work out. Just make sure you get a good agent. So recently purchased a home because I currently have a tiny place, 2.2% rate. I will not worry about the rate increase now and will refinance next year. Yeah, that's good. That's a good way to see. If you're ready to move, the space isn't working for you anymore. That's what you got to do. You got to move on.
The one piece of advice I would give everyone who's thinking about buying a house right now, though, and Jackie, we've talked about this. Never, ever, ever, ever buy a house with the stipulation and the expectation that you'll refinance. You want to make sure that you can afford that property today. Assume the rate will never adjust downward.
Great
and
advice.
if it's not affordable, or if it's marginally affordable and you're like, I will squeak by until the rates drop, don't buy it. Do not buy that house. You're not financially ready to do so.
Yep.
See, yes, don't date the rate. Amen.
That line
Amen.
was
Preach. I that's all I got. I got nothing heavenly. I got nothing heavenly. I'm looking. I got nothing heavenly.
That's close enough. That's close
enough.
Let's see. Wait a second here. Question. Tanya, hello, my friend. Any update with the HOA maintenance recouping? I'm not sure what you're asking there, Tanya. Yeah, I'm not sure. Sorry. You're talking about like the HOA fees, like coming down, continue rising. Yeah. If you can clarify that, Tanya, I'd appreciate it. Clark says, please don't listen to that line. Date the rate. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Delisa Baez, good evening. Your videos are phenomenal and informative. Thank you so much. I just had the experience to live the inspection yesterday, waiting for appraisal, next steps. Awesome. I hope everything goes well there. Good for you. See, I'm seeing that, Jen, I don't know if you've been seeing this. I've definitely seen that the inspections are not being waived as much anymore. You know, the listing that I have, they had the inspection. You know, we're negotiating that stuff right now. The last two listings I had, like nobody was like, nope, not waiving it, not waiving the appraisal. That was another thing, because I had multiple offers on the listing I have under contract with right now, and one guy came in way over ask, and I said, well, what are we doing about the appraisal? And they're like, well, they're not waiving it. If it doesn't appraise. I'm like, oh, here we go. Okay, we're back to that. Okay, good. Yep. Good. We want that, because that's what kept the prices higher. People waiving that.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, so let me just see. Oh, okay. It was a continuation. Hoping to sell my current condo soonest. Unsure if I should sell now. Winter seems like a terrible time, or wait until spring. Okay.
Ooh, can we dig into this one?
Let's dig into that one. So listen, winter is not a bad idea, because the serious buyers are out. If you go into spring, will there be more buyers? Yeah, but there's also going to be a lot of tire kickers, as we like to call them. People are not serious. They're just like, it's a nice day. Let's go look at a pretty house. Let's go look at it, go to an open house, and, you know, go just see how they decorate their place and things like that. So really, any time I have found, it's never a bad time to put your house on the market, because there's always going to be a pool of serious buyers. And also in the spring, you're going to be up against a lot more competition, because everybody puts their house up on the spring. So, Jen, what do you say to that?
So, depending on where you live in the country, selling during the winter could actually be a good thing. If you live in an area where you have inclement weather, guess what? If you're selling your home in the Northeast, in the north section of the country, where there might be snow, or you know, every property doesn't look great because, you know, leaves off the trees. You know how much money you're going to spend, you're going to save in landscaping? Because everybody doesn't look great. And then if you have snow, it's even better, because it covers all the imperfections in the lawn. Everybody's house looks nice because it's nice covered, you know, covered with snow. But aside from that, the thing that I always tell people is that you only need one buyer. You do not need 20 showings, 30 showings, 50 showings. You need one qualified buyer. And because there are fewer buyers through the winter, the people that are coming through, they're ready to go. They are ready to go. Could you get a higher price in the spring? Potentially, yes. But my question to you on that is, are you planning to buy a house yourself as a replacement? When you leave your home, are you buying another home? If you're leaving to buy another home after you sell yours, well, guess what? Your home price may go up, but so doesn't the house that you're buying. So you're not really gaining anything by waiting. It comes back to what we were just talking about a few minutes ago, Jackie. It depends on what your personal situation is. If you
Yes.
are not, I had somebody reach out to me on my channel this week, or late last week, and they said, my agent is pushing me. I'm down in Florida. My agent is pushing me to list because of the snowbirds. They think that, listing over the winters is the best way to go. They're telling me to list in November because, the snowbirds are coming down and yada, yada, yada. And my response was, is it the right time for you?
Yes.
Because she's like, I'm stressed and I don't know what to do. I said, if you're stressed, it doesn't sound like it's the right time for you. It's okay to wait. It's okay to wait. It's okay if you're like, I can't even fathom putting my house on the market during the holidays. Some people don't care. Some people don't care. But some people, it's like, oh my God, I can't handle it. If you can't handle it, don't list it during the holidays. Wait till January.
Just wait it out.
And the flip side is like, if you're in the Northeast, you might have to deal with inclement weather, which means, yes, you have to make sure you have the walkways are de-iced and all the things. If that is something you're concerned about, then wait. It really comes down to what fits your schedule. Don't let a real estate agent tell you to wait till the spring or sell it over the winter or whatever. You know what? They can pound sand. No. They're not asking if they're telling you what you should do, they are the wrong agent.
Exactly.
They should be asking you what you want to do, what's best for you and your family.
Absolutely.
Just saying.
Don't let them pressure you.
Don't let that boy hit you on the
because look, at the end of the day, and Jen, you and I we call them out all the time. They're just trying to get the listing, and that's what they're, they pressure you to, like, you should put it on now. Now's the time.
I think it's, you know what, to be honest, Jackie, I think it's a combination of, yes, a good portion of those agents want the business. And honestly, I think the other piece is that they just are not well trained. They're not properly trained. They're being told in real estate school, this is what you need to do. Go to the house with the contract, all the things, push people to, what can I get you to sign the deal today? It's like, that's what they're being told to say, instead of doing their own homework and really learning their trade. Okay. And that is not happening a lot in this industry. So
you're right.
Which is unfortunate. There is no trade school for real estate, and there should be. There should be apprenticeship. There should be, or all the things. I don't go on a tangent, but there's no trade school.
Yep. No, there isn't. There should be. There should be extra school. Like,
that's why you got to interview.
2 weeks. How many agents?
How many agents do you want to interview? Buyer, seller, agent?
3. We say it all the time. So Tanya elaborated on her question. The owners regarding the HOA payments, the owners having to make up the payments for the HOAs, not keeping up the maintenance of the buildings over time, if I'm explaining it right. So, all right. So you're talking about assessments, I'm assuming. I think that's what we're talking about. So that issue, what the insurance, and especially down in Florida, with what they're dealing with those condo buildings, so especially in Florida, I don't see that changing anytime soon. I don't think it's going to I don't think it's going to improve anytime soon. But other parts of the country, if you have these over assessments because the insurance rates went up, again, same thing. I don't see that improving at all. But but that's me. So
I agree with that.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
I concur.
All right. All right. Let me see here. We got what's this one? JP. Real estate agent wants to put a sign on my property 3 months before my home is listed for marketing my home. Also wants to have exterior photos taken now. No. Why? That's, oh my God, that's so stupid, because then people are going to call the phone number. They're going to see the for sale sign.
Okay. So, all right. So okay. Let's dissect. We're going to dissect this.
Yeah. Dissect that one, Jen, please. Yeah.
Okay. They want to put the sign up so they can get calls.
Yes.
For their own benefit.
Yes.
For their own benefit. That does not help you at all. It doesn't help you at all. Number one. Number two, it actually hurts you.
It does.
Because when you put your house on when you put a sign in the yard, the perception to the general public, because they're not watching MLS, the perception is, oh, that house is on the market. And now it's still up. and it's still up. And then you
Yep.
finally actually go on market in 3 months to the public, people that have been kind of kicking the can around a while, driving by and whatnot. House has been on the market for 3 months.
Yeah.
And taking pictures, so you're taking pictures now versus taking pictures 3 months from now. You're going to have pictures of fall, depending on where you are in the country. You're going to have pictures of the fall in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
That looks terrible.
It does.
That's an inexperienced agent who's trying to muscle you. Please don't let them do that.
Don't, yeah, Mawa says change the agent. Yeah, don't let them do that.
Yes,
not.
please,
It's like Jen said, it's all for their benefit. They're just calling the agent, and they're getting those leads. So
I know these. I've been around the block. I know all their tricks. I know all their tricks. I've been behind the curtain.
Yeah.
I've seen the wizard.
Yeah, have you?
I know.
Good.
Oh yeah. And let me tell you something. It's not as magical as you think it is.
No. We've seen it all.
Downright disappointing.
We've seen a thing or two. Yes.
Yep.
So anyway, Jen, this was awesome. And I want to thank everybody for being so kind in the comments and keeping it civil and, all the things. I appreciate it. I'm looking at the poll that I put at the beginning here. And do you think the housing market will improve? Jen, it's split. 50% say yes, 50% say no. We have 220 votes. Look at that. Look at that.
You know what? I'd be interested to see what how that changes in a month from now.
Yep. Yeah. It'd be interesting. Be very interesting to see that.
Very interesting.
We'll revisit it. So I want to share with everybody. Please check out Jen's awesome channel.
Can you just put the comment by Mawa Azet, please, on the screen? The one.
Jen is badass. She saw behind the curtain. Yes, she is. Yes,
I love you so much.
Yes, thank you. Oh my God, I love it. Love it. So please pay Jen a visit. Check out her channel. She's got awesome content all about selling homes. Great tips. She knows a thing or two. So definitely check her out. And Jen, we got to do shameless plug.
Oh, yes, please do.
I got the shameless plug. Okay. So if you guys enjoy listening to us and watching us talk and banter and all the things, so go check out our podcast. So it's Reddit Real Estate Disasters, and we have a lot of fun. We share Reddit stories and about people's real estate disasters, and we opine on it, and it's a lot of fun. So check us out. We're on all podcast platforms. If you want to see us in person, you can watch us on YouTube.
It sounds like you're inviting them to our house or something. No, please don't do that. Show up on our front lawn. We could do one of those podcast specials and have rent out a theater. That's all the craze now. That would be fun.
Oh, we could do that. Sure.
Yeah.
So also
take it on the road. Take it on the road.
We can take it on the road. If you
for our three listeners.
I know. That's our constant joke. It's we have 3 listeners. So anybody's watching tonight, go watch us so we can increase our viewership by past
to
3.
4.
To make it 4, definitely. If anybody's in need of a real estate agent, please click the link down below in the description box. I will get back to you. I'm getting them on the daily. So if I do take more than a day or so, please bear with me. I'm getting a lot of them lately, but promise you I will get back to you and I'll get you connected to an agent in your area. So Ms. Jen, thanks so much.
You got it. Anytime.
So appreciate you being here. It's always a blast. You're amazing. And
you as well.
So let's close this thing out, shall we? All right. Everybody have a wonderful week as we watch Jen dance. And I will see you all next Monday. Everybody have a wonderful week.
Be good.
Be good. Take care. Goodbye.